Masks. Let's talk about face masks, people. Four months ago, I seen a post on Facebook and I shared it on my page. Governor Hogan was talking about making masks mandatory, right? Thinking about it. He was being consulted by somebody in the Army, I guess it was. I haven't read the post in a while. I'm going to have to go back and check it out. Let me tell you something about people who aren't going to comply if you make mandatory masks. Mandatory. Concrete workers who do asphalt. That's common sense. They ain't going to comply. You know what that means? Your roads ain't going to get fixed. Roofers. They're not going to comply. Why? Because it's common sense. Your roofs ain't going to get fixed. Cooks who work in restaurants that are currently pretty much closed to the public, slaving over 350-degree grills. I did it for 12 years off and on. They're not going to comply. And you know what? You make masks mandatory, I'm not going to comply. And neither should anyone else. You know why? There are many studies, information out there going around. Now, I watched a video where this, I believe he was a doctor, or he was an ER guy. He took a OSHA oxygen reader, right? He put on this compliance mask, this pandemic mask, right? So what he did was he held a little tube up to his lip there, and for about a minute and a half it read 24.5 of oxygen in your blood, which is, good. That's normal. That's what it should be. So then he put the mask on and put the little tube under it and held it there for about 45 seconds. Do you know what happened? His oxygen level to his blood dropped from 24 to 19. And do you know what is considered a dangerous level? Oxygen in your blood at 19. That shows that there is a dangerous level. You are in danger of getting dizzy, headaches. You're in danger of nausea and vomiting over severe cases. If you have underlying conditions, like underlying health conditions, these exacerbate it. You breathe in your CO2 for so long all the time. I'm seeing people out here in 85, 90 degree weather wearing masks, right? They're so freaking brainwashed. I don't want to catch the Rona. I don't want to catch the Rona. Oh my God. Hold on. I got something for you. Yeah. I'm not going to catch the Rona now. There's no way. There's no chance in hell I'm going to catch the Rona. So, Mr. Hogan, if you make masks mandatory here in Maryland, you're going to have resistance. Because you're not suffocating me, and there's going to be a whole bunch of other people that you're not going to be suffocating with your orders, okay? You're not going to be suffocating people over this pandemic. When people start dropping sick, because now you're focusing on cases. You're focusing on cases. I've been seeing your reports on Facebook, right? You're focusing on cases. The more people you test, the more cases there's gonna be. So now the mainstream media and you are like, the cases are spiking. The cases are spiking. The cases are spiking. What happened to the deaths? The cases are going up, the deaths are going down. That's common sense. But I'll tell you what, you make these things mandatory, you're going to have a lot of resistance. And what are you going to do? Are you going to have law enforcement come around and arrest everybody who's not wearing a mask? Are you going to have the military come around and patrol the streets? See people who ain't wearing masks? You're going to get them arrested? Meanwhile, from March to May of earlier this year, over 200,000 prisoners and inmates worldwide were released because they didn't want to catch COVID. We got to keep the prisoners safe, right? So what's going to happen now when you guys are focusing on all these cases and the World Health Organization is pushing the number of cases? Cases. What's going to happen now? The European Union and United Nations going to order the release of millions of inmates this time? That's coming. Nobody thought in the world in a 2-month time period that 200,000 prisoners, inmates would be released due to this COVID, right? So if you make mask mandatory, and I know you've been in contact, talked to one of your higher-ups, I guess, in the Army or something. So you make these masks mandatory, I'm telling you now, you're going to have resistance. People aren't going to comply. And I'll tell you what's going to happen to those people who tell people who don't wear masks. Because the way things are in this world, in the United States right now, you know how they say you should mind your own business? I'm not going to feel sorry for anyone who gets retaliated on for telling on somebody who's not wearing a mask outside in 90-degree weather. You're not suffocating me. You're not suffocating the hundreds of thousands of other people that ain't gonna comply. But those brainwashed people who focus on now the cases, just the cases, I'm sure they will comply. And they'll be the first to get your COVID vaccine. But you know what? There's going to be a lot of people who don't. So, you make masks mandatory, Governor Hogan, you're going to have a lot of resistance. You lock things down again, you're going to have a lot of resistance. So with that said, I'm going to continue to not wear a mask. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. What are you going to do, arrest me? You make masks mandatory? I ain't wearing them. And neither should anybody else. I seen your post, your Facebook post. You're out in the woods. You're wearing a mask. And your shirt has a Maryland crab on it that says, what was your title of your post? Perfect time to practice, wear a mask and practice social distancing. You're out in the woods, for crying out loud. Hogan, you better get a grip. You make masks mandatory, you can expect resistance.